All right, we're going to get some folks in here. Jared Smith here, Carolina Weather Group. We are tracking the first tornado warning of the day, and it may, hopefully, it may unfortunately be not the last of the day here. And this is for Dorchester and Colleton counties until oh, 5:45. And here's the storm in question here. We're going to zoom in on this a little bit. You can see this storm is paralleling Highway 61, just crossed Highway 17 alt right here. Going to circle it. This is where kind of we're going to expect that rotation to be. Uh, Let me switch to storm relative here so we can kind of show you that a little bit better. This is popped up just in the last couple minutes. It's not looking, and of course, it's not looking as impressive because you know how these can go. But we'll kind of zoom back and forth, and you can see that that rotation kind of spun up. And if there's anything here, it's going to be crossing Highway 17 at 61 right now. So again, if you're in this area, if your phone just went off for tornado warning, you should be in shelter right now. Interior room, lowest floor, storm cellar. Most people don't have those, but if you've got an interior room, closet, bathroom, something like that, and it's away from windows, that's going to serve you very well in this situation. As you can see, here's your rotation right there. See if I can get a few more cities on here. This is going through. It's going up Ashley River Road, uh, up 61, and this eventually is going to move on to Kennedy's here. So if you're in Kennedy's, Grover here, you're at the end of this tornado warning. But again, I would strongly suggest moving to shelter. The tornado warning will also include some places: Westo, Canaan, Givens, Norman Landing, and Sydney. And it also takes in part of Knightsville, although I think in Knightsville proper, I think this is going to stay to your south. Um, and so we're watching this closely for the potential for rotation here. And I'm going to need to get something out on that. So yeah, so here's your rotation. Right now, it just crossed Highway 17. And we're going to just send something out real quick to the folks here again. We have been concerned for most of the day that that there was going to be a tornado threat developing right around this time, and sure enough, it has happened. Uh, so. So this tornado warrant cell is running parallel to Highway 61. It is heading for, and again, it's heading for Givens. It's heading for. Let me see here. I have a bunch of different sources of information here that I can use, and I'm just popping them up here to see exactly what to expect. Yeah, so again, this is yeah, we're starting to get into this a little bit. We're starting to get into this event, and again, I think something that we're going to have to consider as well is that this may be going on for a while. We may be in this for a good bit of the night um, as the severe threat continues to expand. So again, I'm going to getting some things out. So we have a tornado watch. Okay, tornado watch until 7 o'clock. This just came out. So we'll get that squared away here as well. But right now we are dealing with a warning, and I also would be loath to point out. I would be remiss not to point out here that we have another area that's trying to rotate here around Goose Creek, around Mount Holly, right here. Here's yeah, so there's it's around 17A 176. It's about by Somerville here. This isn't warned yet. They're going to need to, but we'll need to keep an eye on it for the potential for that to begin to become problematic. And again, the circulation, depending on what storm relative you're using, it would be right here. It's not looking awesome, which is good. We don't like these things to look awesome, but again, you can see that hook in the reflectivity here. Here's a little inflow notch right there, and that is and that's it. So so that's what we're watching right now. And again, we've all been placed under a tornado watch until 7, and I suspect that's not the only one that we're going to be dealing with. I suspect that we're going to have tornado watches long after 7 o'clock. Um, and so yeah, let's just having to deal with several platforms at the moment here. Thank you for joining me, Jared Smith here. Charleston Weather, Carolina Weather Group, severe weather coverage, and we may be here for a little bit. Hopefully not, but hopefully we can get some time here. But so again, no, let's see here. This is insane. All right. Just going back, make sure I got the timing right. So again, if your phone went off for these, time to take shelter if you're in any of these areas. Let's take a peek here. Again, I got 2 areas that I'm worried about on here right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and split the panels here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this kind of 2 wide. So you're gonna see both the radar, the regular radar on the right, or on the left rather. This is the rainfall, and here's the wind. And so we're just going to do both. We're just going to have both in the frame here, and I think that should do a good job of showing you exactly what we're up against here. And when I circle things in, you can see kind of what I'm talking about. So here's one. This is the one that's tornado warned. It's about ready to cross out of Dorchester County and into Colleton County. Here's another rotation, a little bit weaker, but something to watch. Heading right up, looks like it's heading right up Highway 176 right now. If you're around Cane Bay, just crossed to 17A. If you're around Cane Bay, I would be keeping an eye on this closely. So again, I would be very much keeping an eye on this closely, as we may be dealing with. Yeah, we may be dealing with maybe a transient spin up there, but again, the area of concern is very close now to the county line here, and this is and we'll kind of point this out. Here's Highway 61 right here. This is 61, and we'll just kind of do like that. We'll do like that, and it's basically running parallel to Highway 61, and is about to cross into Colleton County. So we're about to get into Colleton County here, and this is designs. If it hangs on, it could head towards I-95. Looking at the mesoscale analysis and some of the tools that we have to figure out, what's the state of the atmosphere, certainly seems like, and this is really beginning to tighten up now. I guess got another frame and another source of radar here. And unfortunately, I can't show you right now. I'm having some trouble with that. But right here, yeah, this is when we get the next frame in, this is going to look a lot stronger right here. So again, this could be up and down. We're going to take a 4-panel real quick. I want to see if there's any debris being lofted. Doesn't look like it yet. Does not look like there's any debris being lofted here. Let's see what they're saying. All right, so it's still radar indicated. 528, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Givens Ferry State Park, moving northwest at 40. So the tornado warning continues now, and it goes over so basically right over Givens Ferry State Park. So here's where we're looking here, and again, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to determine if there's any debris, and I got to tell you, that's questionable. I don't believe it based off of the ZDR here. Let's see if I can go back a frame or two. It's going to have to load some of these frames. Try and figure out. I'm not sure if that's noise or if that's actually debris being lofted. It's hard to tell here, but there is a small dropout on the correlation coefficient here. It's too hard to tell, but that being said, I would treat it like it's down and make sure that you're in that interior room in a safe place If you're living anywhere along 61 in Colleton County up to I-95, this certainly seems like it's a pretty dangerous situation right now, as the risk for uh, a tornado to develop and hit and touch down is certainly elevated in this area. And again, for everybody else, we have a tornado watch now, and that is going to go until 7 o'clock. But I suspect it's not the only one that we're going to be dealing with tonight. We may be busy here for a little while talking tornadoes. Hopefully that's not, and again, hopefully that's not the case. But again, we'll have to deal with that as it comes. Let me doing a couple things here, just checking just different sources here. Got a lot of things to look at. Yeah, we're kind of watching this low level circulation here really starting to take shape now. Looking at some other tools that I have here, the rotation is the rotation. I have a rotation product that helps me kind of peg out, where the spin is on the other radar that's sitting over here, and looks like it's pretty much close to a 1, and that's pretty significant. That's pretty decent. Again, because this is moving so fast. Again, these storms are hauling the mail. That's how it goes with these tropical tornadoes. They spin up and they spin down just as fast. So again, you have this tornado warn cell right here. There's the rotation. It's crossing the Dorchester and Colleton line right around Highway 61, right around Givens, right now. So again, if you're in those areas, make sure that you're in a safe place. And that's not going to work. Make sure you're in a safe place, and we can, we'll get you to, we'll get you an all clear here soon. If you live on 17A, I would say if you're near 17A at this point, you're probably good. I think you're good here. The Weather Service has reboxed the tornado warning in the last few minutes to focus more on where the circulation is now. Again, western Dorchester, eastern Colleton, north of Cottageville. St. George, you're not in this polygon. However, Grover, Canady's, you are in this polygon. And we have several other spots. Get even some better ones. So right now, I'd be most concerned in the town of Texas. In the town of Texas, Grover, Canady's, I think this is generally the area of concern right now. So if you're in any of those spots, anybody in those spots, please let them know that this is a developing situation, and this will be something that you're going to want to watch closely. Zooming out a little bit again, we were talking about a couple other trouble spots. It looks like that's starting to get a little bit more ill-defined. As we move more inland, we're going to find that the better instability will be found. Generally, right now we're finding it roughly here, if that makes sense. So this is a more unstable air here. Still some of the remnants of the high pressure wedge may be hanging out inland, which is why we're starting to see why we might be starting to see the intensity on these come down. Although we are still seeing some lightning strikes even with these, and so that is certainly a situation certainly something to contend with. We'll put the 2-pane back on, and again, starting to. I'm just looking at kind of two sources of radar here. It looks like it might be trying to broaden out a little bit. The reflectivity presentation on the left certainly does not look as good as it did a few minutes ago. We'll kind of time travel here, and you can see it when it had that hook, had that kind of classic look to it here at about 5:22, but now we're at 5:34, and we have seen this kind of lose some of that structure a little bit. So again, we'll keep an eye on that. It's certainly possible that it could be cycling as well. And again, at this point, the circulation looks like it is into Colleton County. It looks like it's going to straddle the Colleton and Dorchester line now along Highway 61. So again, if anywhere around, really anywhere, Esto River area, this is something that you're going to want to watch very closely. over the next little bit. So again, tornado warning here. This is going to go for about 9 more minutes north of Cottageville. Cottageville, you're okay. You're going to be okay. Ridgeville, you're okay. Somerville, Ladson, those areas, Charleston, main Charleston metro area, you're okay. Don't have any issues with what's happening in your neck of the woods right now. Actually, we're catching a little bit of a brief break here in the Charleston area as this batch of very heavy rain came through. But there's more to come, and I'll zoom out and we'll kind of take this full a little bit, and you can see that the main area that I'm starting to get increasingly concerned about, this band of storms here stretching through Hinesville, Georgia. There's been some rotation on it. There's been a couple tornado warnings on that today. That's lifting north, and that's going to get here really after dark. And at this point, we are basically after dark. It is 5:36. Sun is set. Um, Nocturnal tornadoes are dangerous. One, you're not going to see them coming. Two, there is a decent chance that we're going to have some tornadoes. We hope not, but there's a decent chance that there may be a couple tornado warnings tonight while we're sleeping. And so make sure that you have two ways to get weather warnings. Weather radio is a great way to do it. Make sure your phone is off silent so you can hear the wireless emergency alert go off. That's a very useful tool. Strongly recommend. And again, broadcast partners will go live as we can, but again, keep in mind that that this is not going to alert you. This is where you're going. That you could turn to your television station, so to get that severe weather coverage there. But again, if there's a circulation still in this thing, and again, we're starting to get into a little bit more stable air. The winds are as we get closer here, the winds are starting to veer more northeast, and that's or back more northeast rather, and that's going to kind of put the kibosh on some of these circulations as they get a little bit more inland. So still watching this, and again, not looking as good as it was, which is a good sign. That's good news. And that gives us it also kind of gives us an idea of what to expect as we get further inland. Now, that being said, again, I'll zoom out here a little bit. We're going to have this, warm and moist air continue to punch inland, and the wedge out here, this what's left of this high pressure wedge is going to eventually give way. So let's take another look here. And again, we're going to zoom right here. I got to figure out something with his arm. I actually need to switch to the law. Maybe next warning, I'll do this a little bit better. But again, there's your tornado warned cell. Really not looking as good. Hoping to see that this gets kind of dropped here soon. And again, we're really, really losing any definition in wherever that rotation was. It certainly seems like it's beginning to break up, and I think that's going to be a pattern here. Get too far inland to 17A right now, I think you're going to have a tough time sustaining severe weather getting inland. That will change as we get into this evening. It's going to be a little bit harder to we're gonna get more of that moisture moving inland with time. And again, it's worth noting that the winds are now out of the east at Monk's Corner in addition to the airport. And so that's a good sign that we're getting this new air mass moving in, this more warm and moist and unstable air mass that will only get more and more unstable this evening as time goes on. So again, if you're in Knightsville, you're in the clear, no concerns there. Let me get a tweet out to that effect actually real quick if I can find my tweet deck tab. Got so many of those. Who knows? This might be the last time anybody uses Twitter. Oh boy, that's been interesting. And let me see, where did it go? Nope, that's not what I wanted. All right, let's see here. Again, if you're in the Knightsville area, you're all clear. You are very much all clear. This is really starting to fall apart, which is good news. I'm getting pretty optimistic that we're going to be able to get rid of this tornado warning on time, maybe even a little bit earlier. Really not seeing the signs of rotation here that I would be expecting. Zooming out a little bit, there are a couple areas, that we mentioned an area that was near Monk's Corner earlier that has since dissipated. There's an area near Hugie that I'm keeping an eye on here as well. This is a pretty broad, and again, we're going to be just basically watch. At this point, everything's a suspect until proven otherwise. When it comes to rotation, the weather balloon was very well sheared. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of instability available, and I think that this is something that we're going to have to deal with here soon. We do have some lightning strikes firing in near Cross here in northwest Berkeley County. So again, certainly some thunder and lightning. Is a very different character. Um, a very different character to this than we had this morning when we were very much in that high pressure wedge, that stable wedge of high pressure that had been with us for a few days. Has broken down as Nicole, the center of Nicole, has started to make that east, that northerly and northeasterly turn. Let's see. All right, so chances are good we're going to lose this warning at 5:45, so that's good news. We're going to stay with it for a minute just to make sure that this doesn't misbehave. Sometimes that happens, and again, I think we're welcoming in new audiences across the Carolina Weather Group network. Welcome. Jared Smith here, Carolina Weather Group. We were on air for this tornado warning here, which is going to expire here shortly. Good news is that it looks like that we are seeing pretty much no sign of any circulation with this at this point. It's very weak, and that is always a good thing. So again, we're gonna let the Weather Service make the call on this, but I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling good about this warning being able to let go. So again, Ridgeville, Knightsville, Somerville area, you are in the clear right now, but there is a new tornado watch that's out, and that's going to go until 7. But again, there's a decent possibility that may be going later. I would expect that we're going to have, we're gonna have something there before too long. We may have a watch. So anyway, let's see. All right, so the Weather Service is going to let the tornado warning expire, which essentially that's it. I think that will do it for the tornado warning. Let's see. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, we will get rid of this tornado warning here. And yeah, that polygon hasn't dropped off yet, but it's dropped off on another screen. So I think what we're going to do at this point, again, we're going to kind of reset things. Just real quick, just some breaking news that's happened while we were here. Tornado watch is in effect until 7. Probably we'll see that extended well into the night. Nocturnal tornadoes are a very serious concern with this storm this evening as the feeder bands from Nicole move up. The environment is very well sheared. There's a good bit of instability in place. Really, the ingredients are there for some, quick spin up tornadoes. So again, keep that weather radio handy. Make sure your phone is charging and is audible, so that you can hear the wireless emergency alert go off. And again, we're going to want folks to, we're gonna want folks to just be aware, be weather aware tonight and into tomorrow morning. This is going to be one of those kind of longer events because as Nicole gets out of here, once we get into midday tomorrow and into the afternoon, I think things are going to get a lot better. But suffice to say that we're going to be dealing with this kind of off and on all night. So with that in mind, it is now 5:45 in 3, 2, 1. So now 5:45. I'm going to go ahead and jump off. I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here for now, but keep it close on the Carolina Weather Group YouTube page, and we'll post across the network as needed. But for now, Jared Smith here, Carolina Weather Group, Charleston Weather, all of the things. Signing off for the moment, and we will be back with you as conditions warrant.